Alrighty, so my name is Jessica Hernandez. I'm a program coordinator at the Office of International Education and Programs. I specialize in our programs to England, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, and Spain. We have a really fantastic selection of programs and opportunities for students to take advantage of at SUNY Oswego. I'm joined today by Carla Aquino. She is one of our former students that studied abroad in London. Carla is a fantastic student who had the opportunity to intern while she was overseas. And so we're going to have a little bit of information from her about that. We're also going to go over your opportunities overseas, so how you can get a guaranteed internship overseas that helps enhance your professional skills and also your social skills and your skills as a student. So we're going to get started with a little bit of information from Carla. Carla, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit to us, starting with your majors and career interests and what got you interested in study abroad?
Okay, so hi, I'm Carla, and I am an communication and social interaction major and a minor in sales, and I studied abroad in London in 2019, so that was fall semester. I did an internship with Action and Hearing Loss, and they are a nonprofit organization that helps aid those who have hearing problem um, or deaf. And my role was I was the assistant of major events and partnership. And so what part of the things that I have to do is to help out my manager, so like the director of the major partnership and events, and then I was the assistant. So my job was to help her plan for like fundraising event for the charity organization, and kind of be the main person to contact when they need more information about the organization, or they need information about the services of the organization. And so yeah, there's plenty of things I did, but I just gave in an overview of what I did. But aside from that, I did a lot of cool stuff beside internship. I studied abroad and through Kappa. And so you can decide not to do an internship, but I highly suggest that you do, because I feel like it gives you a different perspective on how different it is from America career wise. Like for instance, with me, it's just a totally different culture. It's the way, like, they're big on hanging out with their coworkers. Like here, we don't really see that much. Like for them, it's kind of like a tradition where like they're very close with their coworkers. Like after work, I was hanging out with like my coworkers, and we had like events. And here, like, you don't really get to see that much of that because it's very like strictly professional. I mean, there are times that when we get to celebrate, but we don't do it as often. I think that's one of the main difference of like doing an internship abroad than here.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
No,
that was a lot.
No, it's perfect. And it's great. And it's great to hear about these things. And just for some students who are wondering, so we do offer the internships as an additional option. You don't have to opt into it, but we do provide that option for a good number of our programs. We have 7 internship locations you can choose from. And so what Carla decided to do was to add the internship onto her existing program for an additional 3 credits. And so she was able to get credits for that experience while also taking other classes while in London. And so that's going to move us in kind of to our next topic, our daily life of an intern. Because you're not just strictly an intern, not just strictly a professional, not just strictly a student. So you do have a really nice mix. Can you tell us what was like a daily life for you?
Okay, so I go 3-4 times a week, and I go early in the morning from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. And so my job is to really just I go in, I clock in, greet my coworkers, and then right off the bat, I like start looking at my emails for people who are like inquiring about the organization or events. And part of my job is to call people. Like that was part of my daily duties as an assistant, is to call people to ask for donations for the organization and explain why, like, oh, what does it do, like, with what do we do with the money and all those sort of things. And I also email them. It really depends on what's going on that day. There is no set um, thing that I have to do, but mainly is to call and check the emails, contact people, and then I get an hour lunch and I like go with my coworker, or like you can choose to. We have our own cafeteria, and I've skipped this part, but like I take the tube to go to my internship site, and it's about like 30-45 minutes away from me. So I live in Shepherd Bush. I don't know if you're familiar with London's places, but and then it was in Highbury where my internship site is, and so I take the tube. So I take like three different tubes. They call it tubes there, but here you call it's a train. um, and so that was my daily life. Like I wake up early in the morning and then I go there, greet my coworkers, and then just it was a very independent job. Like my manager was there when I needed her, but she kind of trusted me to do like, because before starting, she told me, "Oh, this is what you need to do," and I just kind of do it in my own time when I'm there, and then from there, if I need help, I just ask her. So that's my daily life.
And that's great. And it really showcases kind of what it's like. It's a very normal, very autonomous kind of lifestyle that you would live overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're doing these internship experiences, they're tailored towards you. So
Mm-hmm.
Carla's internship was tailored to what she was looking for, an internship in London that also enhanced her major and her major interests. So those were something
Um,
that we wanted. Yeah.
right. I think this is important to mention. So before that, actually, I was an intern for a PR agency, and I just want to point this out because, like, when you go there, I know it's scary, but they like Oswego. I mean, personally, I did was with Kappa. I studied abroad with Kappa, and like they helped me out throughout the process. And when I had an issue with my first agent, first internship, it just, not that I had an issue with them. It was just like wasn't for me, and I wanted to get the most of my study abroad, and I didn't want to stay there because I think it would be a waste of time knowing that it's not going to work out for me. So they helped me out throughout the process and helped me get a new internship. So like you really have nothing to worry about when you're abroad because they help you out like a lot.
Yeah, and
So
that's
yeah,
really good
that's
to
up.
hear. That's perfect because that's our whole job is to make the process and the transition overseas as seamless as possible, and we are there
Mm-hmm.
for you guys from start to finish. So that
Mm-hmm.
does help, especially when you're endeavoring in like this new adventure that you're
Mm-hmm.
professional experience. So when you're also going overseas, you have this internship opportunity, but you have other opportunities as well. So as I touched on, you have academic options where you can take other classes. Students can take
Mm-hmm.
anywhere up to 18 credits while they're overseas. We traditionally
Mm-hmm.
suggest that if you're taking an internship, maybe consider only taking an additional 3 classes for a total of 12
Mm-hmm.
credits while you're there. It does give you some opportunity to intern your academics and then also have a good time because we also want you to have fun. You're in a new place,
Right.
a new country. So while you were at Kappa, they have excursions and different trips and things that they did with you guys. What are some fun things that you were able to do outside of academics and professional?
Oh, that's a really great question. So part of the program was we get to go to this to see the Stonehenge. I wish I could pull up a picture, but I don't know if any of you are familiar with Stonehenge. It's in Bath, England. It was really cool, and they also like offer you field trips to different countries in Europe. And for me, I chose to go to France. And so you go with a bunch of students, or you can decide to go on your own with your friends. But I felt like it was easier for me to just do the field trips that they offer, and it's it's actually not bad, like price wise, like it was not that bad. And so like they included hotel, food, like the things you have to do when I chose to go to Paris. They also have, for instance, oh, like the curry night. And so we went to local markets and Indian restaurants in London and just like feast out different kinds of curry. And I love curry, so I had a fun time eating. There are a lot of things. That's just like one of the main things that I did that was included in the program. And yeah, like, and if you were interested in doing something, like you can ask them about it and they'll give you more information about it. Like for instance, like, oh, what are the like museums that I can go to here? And I did a lot of that because so yeah, that's one of the things that I did that was part of the program through Kappa.
And I think that's an awesome perk of these programs because you are getting
Mm-hmm.
that international internship experience, which looks phenomenal on your resume. But we do want to make
Mm-hmm.
it a social experience as well because you are overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for example, our programs in London, they do pub crawls, they do eating crawls, which is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
In Barcelona, where you can intern, we have the students go to flamenco shows and they can go see bullfighters.
Yeah.
Programs that are in
Get to
Australia.
watch plays too, actually. They
Yeah,
offer that.
which is so much fun. Our program in Australia, if you intern there, they take you to a zoo and you spend the night, which is a lot
Oh
of fun.
my God.
And then
That
you can
is
go
so fun.
hiking in the Blue Mountains, which is really cool. So there
Mm-hmm.
are experiences that they're phenomenal, but they're organized and they're set excursions that you know that you can go on before you leave. Oftentimes
Mm-hmm.
it's included in the cost of the program, so you know that you're getting those experiences right off the bat.